emptiness.
Yay.
Yay.
Hey. Hey. Yeah.
That's Cantonese song, Geshe.
So one of the books by Maitreya, Lord Maitreya, explains the 8 ways that things don't start. First of all, what is the title of the text in English and in Sanskrit? And then second, how do we determine which philosophical school it relates to?
Is that my only school?
No, I said, how do we determine which philosophical school it belongs to? Because of the 5 books of Maitreya, some are mind only and some are middle way. But let's answer the first question first. Does anyone remember?
That's a nice homework question, by the
I
way.
don't remember. I have the 8 written down, but I didn't get the text.
Fine. Okay.
Was it Sutra Alankara? Again?
Yes.
I mean, we had 5 guesses.
True.
But that was one
All
guess,
right.
just Sanskrit and Tibetan.
So how do we determine? It's got middle way in the title, right? Or greater way in the title. But how do we determine what school it belongs to? This text.
It's in the title.
If you're
Yeah,
offering
lower
money,
middle-
I'll
lower
answer.
middle way.
Utpala, if you're
I
at
offer $1.50. No,
$1.50,
I
I'll
offer
take it.
$25.
Nah, I don't want to take your money. Okay. Maybe you should go check the tenure for free. That's a free answer.
Yay, one
That's
way
a-
to tell is by looking at how the source file is cataloged in the Tengyur collection. And in this case, as Sugang says, it's in the mind only section.
That's easier than my answer, because number 6 mentioned the young truth.
But it could be that, Prasangika would talk about
It's true.
those silly mind only way ideas
That's true.
that are important. We need to understand them. So how does Lord Maitreya explain the meaning of things not starting from the beginning?
The expression that I wrote down was Tokma Dangni.
That's the Tibetan. That's the second part. So yay, you win the free prize. So, but what does it mean? Things are free of starting from the beginning.
Well,
There's something that doesn't have a beginning.
The silence during
Things
homework
not
time?
starting from the beginning means there's no beginning to the circle of suffering. And the Tibetan is Tokma.
Hey.
So please give the distinction between these 2 ways that things don't start. And then I hesitate to say this because you like to answer part B before part A, but then give the Tibetan for each. So first, what is the distinction between that things don't start that itself and itself? Because those are 2 of the 8 ways. There must be some reason they're both there.
Wrong day and wrong is my guess for the Tibetan.
You got one of those right.
Date on.
He's torturing these guys.
Okay, the first one is something which is already arisen doesn't start again from its own essential nature. And that is that itself. So then
right,
what do you think about something not starting from itself?
Something which hasn't already arisen.
No, that's the first one.
Oh, I thought it says has.
Oh,
already.
no, that has already arisen, but No, it's not that. It has arisen, which is a clue.
Does start again from its own
Yeah.
essential nature.
Is that it, that you're at the mercy of its causes?
Ah, very good. A dominating thing exists at the mercy of its causes and could not come from itself. What is the Tibetan for that itself?
Wrong? No?
Wrong knee.
Enyi.
Oh, sorry, we're up there. Okay. Sorry,
Deni.
And then we had, of course, wrong before.
sorry about that. Good.
And because there were 3 Tibetan words in there, that's it. And there is not starting.
Nice.
So Geshe-la, I'm not going to share my feeble at translation because it's the second section. So I thought it would do it in the time.
All right. How do you feel, by the way? You feel okay?
I'm a little better, but I'm not there yet.
Wow. You think it was the booster shot?
I have heard from others that they got, fatigued from the booster. So maybe so.
I've heard people say they get fatigued from Kedubji. I don't know.
Well, this section, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm completely like, I don't
Here
know.
we go.
Like maybe I should be
Uh,
translating some children's book or something.
Well, I kind of agree with. I'm a lot. I don't know why this is all happening. I didn't think this is what we signed up for. So I thought it would be. Personally, I decided to stop and go back and look at why we're here. Why are we discussing the 3 characteristics of the mind-only school?
Can I
And-
have this version of your text? I don't have this version of your text.
Oh, really?
Nope.
Let me send it to you.
Or the bit that says go to outline below first. I don't have that.
Check the last one you got. I think I sent it to you, but if I didn't, I'll send it to you now. Let's see here. I'll send it to you right now. Maybe that was after I decided to do this. Here you go. It's coming. It's coming. Okay. It's coming. It's coming. Slowly, slowly. My internet is not exactly.
I think all of Verde Valley's internet is not exactly.
It's very similar to Stanley's quarantine hotel internet.
Yeah.
Fishing village.
Yeah. By the way, I think Allison's gonna be upset that I said that. I was just making a joke, okay? As you know. Okay, did you get it, Utbala?
Not yet.
It's coming. It's just gotta go
Down the block.
down the block.
Maybe I should run over and get it. It might be faster.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my phone got it. Let's see if my computer can get it. Yay, there it is.
Okay, take your time.
Okay, got it.
Okay, now look for the word outline. and go to the bottom of your manuscript.
Got it?
Okay, so I personally, I'm starting to forget why he's talking so deeply about the three characteristics of the mind-only school. And I just felt like I was getting lost, and that happened with your other text.
Yeah, right.
And I didn't really see the structure of your other text until we were done with it. I didn't
又遇到
understand.
你啦！
又有話 B 出口，又話呢個好複雜啊，又話 C 出口。
我喺我
Chinese translation has leaked into the room.
I'm really excited it's happening though. And
Translators, you can find the text on Google Drive.
Okay, so I think we're going to do a 10-minute review of where the heck are we and why are we talking about all this stuff, and it actually makes sense. Okay, so the first section of your book is just about Arya Nagarjuna's life story. Okay. Yep. And so there is no outline structure of the first 3 pages, which is very unusual. He kind of just wants to tell the story of Arya Nagarjuna. And then he says, hey, let's explain emptiness according to Arya Nagarjuna. And that's supposed to be his book, and that's what I signed up for. Then he went through these steps. And I'm just gonna say them, okay? So we don't waste your time. The reason why it's a good idea to look for the meaning of emptiness, okay?
Yeah.
That was the first part. We finished that. Opinion. The benefits of having a wish to understand emptiness. Okay. Then what is the correct kind of student that you would want to teach emptiness to? Okay. And then and then he's actually gonna cover emptiness. Okay. And that took us up to page 7.
Sorry.
Then he started a section called Let's Investigate what teachings of the Buddha were literal and what teachings of the Buddha were figurative. Okay. Then he went to a discussion. He said, let's divide literal and figurative according to Arya Sangha. And then later we'll divide it according to this, well, it's called the Sutra taught by Never-Ending Wisdom, okay? Which is the system of Nagarjuna, yeah. Then he says that's the system of Nagarjuna. So we didn't reach that yet. No. That starts on page 24. We're back on page 11, I think. Yeah, we're on page 11. So we're right in the middle of this explanation of Asangha's idea of what sutras are literal and what sutras are figurative, right?
Yeah.
That's why we're having these confusing discussions about the 3 characteristics of the mind-only school, okay? Yep. And how they got to that is interesting to me. He says, well, there were 3 turnings of the wheel. There were 3 different stages in Lord Buddha's life when he was teaching. And here's the key part for us now. Korlo Dambo Pungso Ranki Tsiniki Yönyam. In the first turning of the wheel, he said that the body and mind of the person are all the same because they do exist through some quality of their own. Okay, they're all equal in that sense. That was the first turning of the wheel. Then in the second turning wheel,
or the middle,
he said, no. Sorry, yeah, middle. He said all those things are equal in not having any nature of their own. Okay, and he made distinction. He did not make distinctions between some things having a nature and some things not having a nature. And because he did not make that distinction, we can say it's figurative. It would only be literal if he had made a distinction between having a nature and not having a nature. But he made a blanket statement that nothing has any nature. Therefore, we have to take it as figurative. We cannot take it.
According to Arya Sangha.
Yep. Then in the final turning of the wheel, he said, the only thing that doesn't have a nature is imaginary things, like the husband who's not my fault. That's the only thing that doesn't have a nature. And cause things and emptiness do have a nature. They do have their own nature, okay? That's the final turning of the wheel. Called, when the name of the third turning of the wheel is when he finally made the distinctions. When he finally made distinctions, he said, this does have a nature and this doesn't have a nature. So here's a summary. In the first turning of the wheel, he said everything does have a nature. In the second turning of the wheel, he said nothing has a nature. In neither case did he divide between having and not having. Then when he got to the third turn of the wheel, he said, you know what? The husband who doesn't come from me, he does not have a nature. And the husband who does come from me, and the emptiness of the husband who doesn't come from me, those do have a nature. They have a nature, okay? Then he goes to Do De Gongja, which is the What I Really Meant, the sutra called What I Really Meant. Hi, Amelie. He went to the sutra called What I Really Meant. And that sutra explains the second turning of the wheel, okay, as saying imaginary things don't have any nature of their essence of their own. Cause things don't have any birth of their own, and empty things don't have any nature of being ultimate by their own. Okay, and then he goes and gets that section. Okay, and now here's the argument we're in. Therefore, anybody who says that anyone who claims that in the Perfection of Wisdom Sutras, which is the second turning of the wheel, right? Anybody who says that those sutras say that nothing exists, nothing has any nature of its own, okay? Those people who say that refers to all deceptive, that was meant to describe all deceptive kinds of entities. Those people don't understand, they don't understand the sutra called What I Really Meant. And they're also contradicting Asanga and his spiritual children. Who's that?
Vasubandhu.
Oh, sorry.
Sort of?
Oh, sorry, the two brothers, yeah.
Yeah.
They're contradicting the two brothers, okay? And if we stick it out for about
Another 4 terms.
4 more terms, yeah, 3 or 4 more terms, we will reach the Nagarjuna's version of emptiness, okay? So we just have, I'd say 3 more terms. We're stuck with this mind-only stuff, all right? All right, now we can go back to your book. And now I understand it better. You know, he is writing a book about emptiness. He just got stuck for a long time in the mind-only school, okay?
Right. So Geshe-la, did you create this by going through the text, or is there an outline
I went through
written
the
somewhere?
text, yeah.
Okay.
No, I went through the text. Okay. And I didn't finish the outline. It's obviously those outlines can take 20 hours to do for the whole book.
Right.
So I just did the first part because I myself was getting lost. Like, I didn't know why we're spending so long on discussing why changing things do have a nature, they don't have a nature, you know. It was getting irritating to me, okay? Okay, there's a quotation from Stiramati, which we covered.
No, we didn't.
You
Oh,
wanna
no. That's the 185 we haven't covered.
Okay, we can do that. Let's see why we're discussing it. Okay, let's see why we're discussing it. Yeah. Caleb J says there's a commentary to dividing the middle from the extremes. And it talks about how if you think all things in the universe are like the horn on a rabbit, and that they have no nature of their own, you are dissing the Buddha's teachings, and we want to block you. We want to block your idea. So we say Yanda Mayen Kundo Ye. The one that is not pure is the imaginary one. Rang Shingi Sheja ni Sik Sheja Sikit Lamo. I would say the other two, meaning the other two characteristics of the mind-only school, are all right. So here's the actual quotation. Wait, is that right? Yeah. Wait, hang on a second. I think we have, oh yeah, this starts with La La Land, right? Remember?
Starts with Young.
Yeah. Yeah, it starts with La
Oh,
La.
the one you just talked about starts with La La Land.
Yeah.
Right.
So I went and got it for you.
Thank you.
And here it is. Let me see something. Yeah. Yeah, we finished that one. Okay. That's where we are. And it's just the same quotation. So let's read from here. I'm going to group it all together. Hang on. Okay. And I'm going to ask, who is there? What handsome man? Stanley is going to check your pronunciation.
Sir.
Go slow, Stanley. Criticize her every time your internet works.
Okay. All right.
Debshin Dusum Deshin Dusum Chupe Ndrelpa Le Kyang Yangnan Nampar Shepa Shindu Sheja Yang Ze Nidu Kachik Sempatang Shendak Sheja Shindu Nampar Shepa Yang Kun Zop Nidu Yud Ki Dun Dampar Yepa Mayino Nyam Du Sempa Ta Chik Tu Mawa Chik Tu Mawandi Nampani Gakpar Jawe Chir Rap to Jepandi Samso.
Okay,
Wow,
good.
perfect.
Yay. This is a commentary to the 30 verses, but it's also by Stiramati, the same author. Okay. And he says there's two options here. There's two options here. Some people say all shejas, all existing things, are similar to consciousness itself. Why? They do have a nature. Okay, they do have substance. Okay, they do have a nature. All right, Zenyi. Okay, so he says all objects in the universe are similar to the mind. Why? Because they have a nature, which is what the mind has. Okay, that's one group. Here comes another group. No, you have to say it the opposite way. Just as every object in the universe is deceptive, the mind itself is also deceptive. Okay, two extremes here. Some people say all the things in the world are similar to the mind because they do have a nature. Okay, and then somebody else says, no. The mind is similar to all things in the world, which are fake. Okay, they don't exist ultimately. Dendapa yupa mayino nyamdu semba tachi tamawa di namba ni these two groups, which are making such extreme statements, right? Out there on the edge, tachitu, making these blanket statements. Tachitu means making blanket statements like this. I seek to block both of them. I seek to disprove both of them. I'm going to disprove both of them. And that's why I wrote this chapter. Okay, Raptu Chepa means this chapter. Tsamso means that's why I have written this chapter. Okay, so they want to block two different guys. Some who say that all the things in the universe are similar to the mind because they do have a nature. And others who say that the mind itself is similar to all things in the world, which don't have a nature. And now I'll give you a $50 question. And I'll give Venerable Utpala a chance first. How would you relate this to the Buddha's career?
To the Buddha's career?
Yes. I don't want to make it too easy because it's $50. If you want the $20 question, I can tell you, I can give it to you.
Well, those are, I don't know,
I'll
it
give you a
seems to me
clue.
those are the two extremes which the middle way runs between. But
But I'll
I
give you a-
don't know. So
I'll
it's
give
the
you a
second
clue.
turning of the wheel? No.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Well, what about the first one here?
Yeah.
All the things in the universe.
Oh, okay. So then it's all the Sheja, Zeni, Sheja and Nampar
Well-
Shepa being Zeni is the first turning.
Nice.
And then Sheja and Nampar Shepa being Kunzo Ni
Yeah.
is the
Yeah, saying everything is wrong is kunzo, fake. Which turning of the wheel?
I guess that would have to be the second turning.
Yeah, good. And then he says, my goal in
Oh,
this
okay.
book is to reject both of them.
Right,
So
which would be the third turning.
Yeah, he believes it. So that was a difficult $50, but you
Yeah.
did do it. And shopping, that's $50 for Venerable Utpala. Okay, so bottom line, yeah, is it very interesting? In the first turning of the wheel, Lord Buddha was thinking that everything was like the mind and it had to be substantial, it had to be real. And then in the second turning of the wheel, they said the status of the mind is that it's the same as everything else. It doesn't have any nature of its own. But I'm here to tell you, neither description is correct, okay?
Yeah.
Now, what's the mind-only school going to say about the mind?
What is it going to say about the mind?
Yeah. Here you go. I'll give you the answer for free. Please read 186. Bren Kramer wants to check you.
Yeah, and this is the one I was supposed to have translated.
That's okay.
She chi dun me patang. Nam she dun dam de yipa selwar shete. Mumpa kun le tu le. Kang lang kang me pa de ni. De tong par yang dak par jesu tong de. Di la hlakma kang yin pa te ni. Ndir yipao she. Yang dakpa jitawa shindu rak to sheso.
Good. Okay. So what
I
do we
could
have
only
to-
do the first.
Yeah, that's okay. What do we have to say about the relationship of the mind and sheja, right? Oh, well, we believe outer objects, mepa,
Don't exist.
but we believe namshe, dun dam to yut.
Consciousness ultimately exists.
Yeah, good. And this is clearly explained in the third turning of the wheel. As the Abhidharma Samuchaya says, Asanga, right?
Compendium of all the teachings on higher knowledge.
When something is empty of something, We say it is de.
When something is empty of something, where do you get the something is empty of something?
Kang la kang me.
So
when
me there means empty?
Well, I'll say it differently. When you say that something doesn't have something, okay? When you say that something doesn't have something, for example, the husband who's not my fault, okay? When you say that he doesn't have something,
Yep.
what you're saying is it is empty of that thing,
Yep.
okay? That's all. You want to know what emptiness means? Yeah, it means something doesn't have something. Okay,
Okay.
that's all.
Where is the possessive there?
I'm sorry?
The something that doesn't have something. Where have something? Where's the possessive between mepa and kang?
Yeah, the construction law with ya or me in Tibetan means to possess or not to possess.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, ngala ponyo means I have a pon. Okay.
Thank you. Because
have a
I came
phone.
up with something totally nonsensical.
Okay. So it's a beautiful description of emptiness. When something doesn't have something,
Yep.
we say it's empty of that thing.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And that's the way we want you to look at it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Then you're looking at it correctly. Now,
Afterwards?
yeah.
You're looking at it afterwards correctly?
No.
What's that Jesu? Jesu tote.
It's just an anu in Sanskrit. Forget about it. Yeah. Yeah. It's just an anu. It's just a, recognize maybe instead of see. Okay. What's the RE in recognize? I mean,
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, you should understand that when we say something is empty of something, you should view it as meaning something doesn't have something. Okay.
Thank you.
Now, if anything's left over after that process,
okay.
So you take the husband out of the kitchen who's not coming from me. If there's somebody left over, who would that be? The one who comes from yelling at the kids. Oh, that one exists. That one really exists. Okay. Got it?
Uh-huh.
So the word lakma in your class today is going to be important. And what it means is what's left over. After you cancel all these things, if you cancel the husband who doesn't come from you, well, what's left over? Well, that exists.
Does exist. Okay.
Yeah,
which is the Shenwang and the Yangdu.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And those exist in the way they appear. Okay. Those really exist. Okay. You should understand. You should grasp. When you see rap or added to something or Jesu added to something, you can, in English, you don't add another prefix. You just change the whole verb. Okay. So shepa means to understand. Rap to shepa, you can say comprehend.
Okay.
Don't say super understand or something like that. Okay.
Okay.
Good. So there's the quotation.
So is there anything like the Jita wa Shindu? Is that like just as it is?
As they appear. Yeah. They exist
as they appear.
Yeah. Or yeah, you could say that. Or those are correct. Those are okay. That's the opposite. That's the opposite of kunzo.
Okay.
Okay. Those are not fake. Those are real. And that's the way things are. Okay. All right. Please read this, and Sugang wants to check you. Sugang, is that a background or that's your real house behind you?
No, it's a background. It's a background.
When Shintian comes into being and out of being, I know it's a background. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, this is my real bedroom. It looks ugly, no?
I'd rather have the palm tree. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it looks better, much better.
Tar kuntap dempar me ching de tong pe klakma shen wang den par dupala shek gote. Tsundi ni sate nam nang shintu selo.
Good, good. She Sumbe Dun means, what this quotation talking about? Well, Kongdu Shepatar, what's that mean, you guys?
Earlier explanation.
Yeah, as we explained above, and by the way, this explanation is going on too long if you ask me. As we explained above, once Kundak Demba Mepar, once you've established that imaginary things, like the husband who didn't come from me, are not real, then de tombe lagma. What's that mean, Utpala? Think about it carefully. De tombe lagma.
Then the
This lagma is crucial to your class today.
well, it's not leftover emptiness.
Yeah, it is. Oh, what's left over after? After you decide that things are empty of that kind of imaginary husband, well, what's lagma? What's left over after you cancel the thing that's not there? After you cancel the husband who's not my fault, what's left? Shenwang.
Yeah, dominated things.
Yeah, cause things. And you better recognize that these are really real. These are really real. We canceled the unreal stuff when we canceled the husband who's not my fault. What's left is the husband who comes from yelling at my kids. And that one is real, totally real. Okay.
It must be, right? Good.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you must establish it that way.
Must be explained as being
okay.
Yeah. Soldini, this way of thinking of it is extremely clear in De Nam, Sa De Nam. Chanju Sembe Sa, Nyanteki Sa.
Yeah, in Maitreya's.
In the Asanga's Bhumi, it says the Bhumi books. Okay. And we have a footnote up above. I think there's 9 of them or something.
Yeah.
The Bhumi books. Okay. All right. Yay. You ready to get lost? Here we go. Okay. Xiaoping wants to check you because she finally had some sleep last night.
There must say kunle to su sowe shi tang yang su shepa shi do tsang shepatang. Jang sai de konaniki le kie par chepe kapsu shenwang ki ngopo rangi tseni ki drupa la drupar shepa ngopo sowar topa yang su shepatang.
Good. There must say, okay, now I don't know why he's doing this to us, but he says, not only that, if you go to the Samuchaya, which one?
Abhidharma.
Yeah, the Abhidharma Samuchaya. It talks about the 4 searches, or I guess, and the 4 understandings, okay? Or it could be the 4 efforts. I have to check, okay? The 4 efforts, let's call it the 4 efforts and the 4 understandings, okay? So was she, and the 4 complete understandings, okay? In the Abhidharma Samuchaya, these are explained dotsam.
Only briefly.
Yeah, only briefly, okay? But in the Dong De Konaniki Liu, what's that mean?
The chapter on suchness.
Yeah, in the chapter on suchness from Changchug Sempe Sa.
Levels of bodhisattvas.
Yeah, they are ge parshika.
They are explained extensively.
Good. And in that chapter, they explain that Shenwang King Ngopo, those things which are caused, okay, they ranki tseniki dupa.
They're established by definition.
Yeah, and Drupala, Drupa Shepa, Ngopo Sur Topa Yonsu Shepa. Yeah. Yeah. Drupa Shepa. And to understand that they exist through their own nature, you're going to have to go through the process of looking for things and then understanding the things completely. Okay. And that's called the four. I believe it's Tsuba here is looking for. That's called looking for things and understanding things. Okay.
Okay.
So this, and I went and got you a commentary. All right. So don't fret yet. Okay. That could be a mantra. Don't fret yet. Okay. Nick wants to check your pronunciation on the next one, and then I'm taking you on a detour to understand these strange 4 and 4.
Ngo dang kepa kun takpa la takpa sam du shepa ni ngo ni du ndok pa dang kepa du ndok pa so wa tok pa yang su shepe dan du sung la.
Good. Then there's a concept called imputing the basic thing and imputing its features. Okay, there's a concept called
Oh, it's essential
imputing
nature and its features.
Yeah, right. And there's two kinds of imputation or two kinds of imagination. Okay, one is so what would be the ngo? Maybe it would be the husband who doesn't come from me, and then the feature of him about that you're making up stories about is exactly hungry. Where did he come from or something like, oh yeah, you could say he's hungry. Yeah, okay. Tapasanta shepani, and perceiving those two, understanding the nature that you imputed and the quality that you imputed. Okay, ngoni de dopa. Capital dopa. You want to see how does something get called the essential nature of something, and how does something get called the features of something. Okay, how do you dopa? How do you name the essential nature of a thing, and how do you name its qualities? Okay, sura dopa, and that has to do looking for those. Is Yongsu Shepe Dun. That's what we mean by total understanding. Okay. And they don't make any sense here. So I went and got it for you, okay?
Okay.
And this is a commentary on Chang'e by a good geshe from the early part of the 20th century, from Seraje, I think. And here's his explanation of the four searches. Okay, so and the four understandings that you get. Okay, the 4 searches and the 4 comprehensions, I would call them. Okay, so here's his treatment of the 4 searches and the 4 comprehensions. Okay.
And who is he?
Sorry.
Jigme Damshugatsu. Sorry.
Yeah. So please read, and Word is going to check your pronunciation.
Dear Sheitsu Shi Nyam Shakla Do de Jen Kuntu Tektu Jangsa Sok Le Jung Watar Ming Yang Sutso Watang Donam Ngo Po Yang Sutso Watang Ngo Ni Du Dakpa Yang Sutso Watang Che Dakam Ke Par Du Dakpa Yang Sutso Te So Was Shi Dam.
Yeah, good. Here's something very useful for me. I'm going to go back in. I don't forget this. He just glossed Tokpa below equals Dakpa. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. Okay, Dakpa. Thank you. All right. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, Sheitsu Shi. Okay, let's talk about Sheitsu Shi. The She here stands for Yongsu Shepa, which means comprehension. The Tsul means looking for. Okay, so he means the four to distribute to both the four comprehensions and the four what?
Looking for, searching for.
Yeah, the four searches. So he actually
Searches,
has
okay.
he has them in the wrong order, which is also confusing. Okay. All right. Dodegen, the Sutra Alankara, and Kuntu, what's that?
Samachaya.
Yeah, and
Sorry, I
Tepachaka,
didn't catch that.
Abhidharma Samuchaya.
Thank you.
He's listing 1, 2, 3, 4 books here. 4 famous books of the mind-only school. The Sutra Alankara by Maitreya. The Numbakundu, Abhidharma Samuchaya by Asanga. Tekdu,
Mahayana Samgraha.
I forget Asanga probably, I don't know.
Yeah.
And Changsa, Bodhisattva Bhumi. Okay, these he claims they occur in all 4 books. Okay, and I'm going to teach it to you as they describe it. Okay, now here's the 4 searches, and it starts to get sexy and it starts to get understandable, which Kirib J didn't deign to help us with. Ming Yongsu Tsulwa, what's that mean?
Name.
Yeah, searching everywhere for the name.
Oh, searching exhaustively for the name.
Good. I like your exhaustively. That describes how I feel too. Then this should be NAM, by the way. And God, I have to figure these things out. Dun nam ngopo yongsu tsuwa. Looking for what?
Searching for meaning or things.
Looking for the thing which has the meaning. Okay. Looking for the thing which got the name, or you can say looking for the entity. Okay. You can call it either one. All right. So first we're looking for the name.
Probably
Then
one
we're
entity. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're looking for the thing that got the name. Then we're looking for exhaustively for what was imputed to be its essence. All right. That goes back to here.
The different.
Okay. So below this is equals again, Dakpa. Okay.
Duck.
I'm giving you these notes for later. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So we're looking for the essence, which was imputed to the thing. And then the last one is easy. We're looking for the
characteristics.
Good. Or the features.
Or the features.
Okay. Which are imputed. We are searching exhaustively for them. Those are the 4 searches. Okay. Those are the 4 searches. According to this author. And I like them. Then he says, hey, you want to know what the 4 knowledges are? The 4 comprehensions? Here you go. Please read. And who I got? Rebecca, wake up here. You got to check her.
Yay.
Yay.
Ming so wide.
Eyes are so wide.
Chirwa yang dakpa jitawa shin shepatang. De shin du jarte dunam ngopod so war kirpatang. Ngowo ni du dakpa so war kirpatang. Kepar du dakpa so war kirpat yang dakpa jitawa shindu shepate shepashile.
I'm still not sure about this. Okay. A double question mark means I'm really not sure now because he's repeated it twice. Mingtawa Gyurwa, when you seek the name and you understand it as you should, that's what we call the first comprehension.
Understand it as you should?
Yeah, Yang Dapa Jitawashin.
Oh, understand it perfectly correctly?
Yep. And he didn't say Yongsu, but he should have. Okay, that's the first of the 4 complete comprehensions. Okay, what's the second one? He says, follow the same pattern. He says, follow the same pattern. You're looking for the object of the name, or you're looking for the thing, and then you understand it finally completely. That's called the second comprehension. Okay, when you look for how the thing was imputed to have an essence, when you understand that process, that's called the third comprehension. And when you understand how the object was imputed to have a characteristics, that's called the total comprehension of characteristics. Okay.
So do we want to use like Kepa is going to be features and
Yeah,
Chedrak is going to be
uh,
characteristics, or?
yeah, by the way, this R in Kepar is not a Laden.
Okay.
It's part of the
Kepar.
word. Yeah, once you spell it Kepar, it's a noun.
Okay.
Okay. And it's confusing because it sounds like an adverb. It just means features. Okay. It's okay. And then he's got the Laden, which is do. Okay. As a feature. As a feature.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And here's what he means by and now it gets interesting. Now finally it relates to us. Okay. Please read this sentence. Rebecca, you're still checking. Ming Day.
Ning de dun de la ne tsu ki wangi shupa yin min chupe so wa de so wa dang po yin de.
Yeah. So here's a description of the first search. The first search. The search is trying to check whether or not the name belongs on the thing. Neitsuki wangi is an old way of saying by its very nature. Okay. By the very way it lays. Okay. So when you're checking whether or not yin min, chipa, checking, when you're examining whether or not the name belongs to that thing by nature, okay, automatically, okay, shupa means apply. That's called the first search. Okay. Do you have to call a rose a rose? Does the word rose apply to that red flower by its very nature? By the way, I just received this nice roses, and nobody put their name on it, so
Ooh,
must be one of those admirers down the
Secret
street.
Santa.
Yeah. Anyway, if you're the guilty party, please let me know. V is wondering. She probably thinks I have a girlfriend. Okay, never mind. Secondly, please read. Who's going to check? Alex Rivas, you want to check her? If you're there.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Do de yen ki yik drole de la ngupo la ming loper wa ni tu yang sut so wa ni ming yang sut so wa yin parik par jao she sung pager.
Yeah. Now, I don't know what's the Yik Del. Yik is the first name of Vasubandhu. You know, Yik Nien. It might refer to him. I didn't have time to check it. Anyway, there's a commentary to the Sutra Alankara which says, when you check, when you are searching exhaustively, whether a name applies to the thing Lobodu. Here's Lober. We had it a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Adventitious.
And then
Adventitiously.
Yeah, is it adventitious as opposed to Neitsuki Wangi? Okay. Neitsuki Wangi means through its very nature. Lobur means someone stuck the name on it after the fact. Okay. Someone stuck a name on a thing. Or did that name belong to the thing naturally? Okay. so it's interesting that he expresses the question in the opposite way. He doesn't say, was that name natural to this object? He says, did somebody just stick that name on there because they felt like it? Okay. And if you check that, you are checking names. Okay. You are searching for names. Okay. What do we expect to come up later? Anticipatory translation.
Well, about the thing that got the name, and then how
Yeah.
the
Okay.
essence that was imputed and the
good.
characteristics and features that were imputed.
Okay, good. Now, de la llena means, this is an Abhidharma concept, by the way. When you're examining, you can divide names into three kinds. You can divide, this is an Abhidharma thing. You can divide names into, please read, and Alex, you're still checking.
De la llena, min kitsok tang, sik kitsok tang, yin ye tsok sumpo, re re la de tar sowa sum tang, sowa shipo, re re la tseba tang, yi che tang, che she sumre tang, kun zok tang, dundam nam chen yi re ye.
Okay, good. De la llena, if you divide names, okay, there's three different kinds of names. Some are called mingitsok, which means collections of names. And then there's tsikitsok, which means collections of words. And then there's yikitsok, which describes words, in fact, as collections of letters, okay? Ready? So that would be three more searches, in investigating the parts that make up the name parts, the word parts, and the letter parts. Okay. And he calls them three more sowas, although I don't think that's the classic sowa. And then he says, all three kinds of searching involve, okay, each of the four kinds of searching involves sema, yicha, and cheshe. Each one has three: sema, yicha, and cheshe. And they can also be divided into kunzab demba and dindam demba. Okay. These are famous synonyms for states of mind which are not quite sema. Yicha and cheshe are famous states of mind which are not quite pramana. Okay, they're called not quite pramana. Okay, and yicha means to estimate something. I don't know. Somebody says, how many trees out in front of your house? I said, I don't know, 300. That's called yicha. It's not really a sema. Okay, it's an estimate. Okay, so yicha. But
it's not a wild guess, right?
You could. I wouldn't say necessarily wild, but it's a guess. Okay. Okay. And if you don't know that, the words themselves are confusing because yi means mind and chu means examination.
Right.
And these are idioms in the study of pramana. And if you don't know that, you would get lost here. Okay.
Absolutely.
And cheshe means recall, but it emphasizes rough recall, which makes it a non-pramana. Yeah, it's a non-pramana. Yeah, same in. Yeah. And there's a classic list here that I got you of the 5 not quite semas.
Okay.
One is called cheshe. Yeah.
It came up in my Q&A today about cheshe, and doesn't the logic school say that it is valid perception?
No.
I don't know.
Or the middle way school?
Middle way does.
Oh, okay. I had it back.
Maybe middle way would. Yeah, maybe middle way.
That's why this.
I hate to say this, but we're 5 minutes over.
Let's finish these 5. Let's finish this thing. So he's saying each one of the searches involves three states of mind: accurate perception, inaccurate estimation, and inaccurate recall. And each one involves features of being fake and features of being ultimately real. Okay. And those of you who are interested, you can read this list of not quite pramanas. And they are Cheshe, recall, Lokshe, which means misperception, Tetson, which means doubt,
Out.
Yiche, which means estimation.
Hmm.
And you guys know Nangla Mangepa, very famous example. You're on the couch thinking about the boy who kissed you today at school. And your mom yells out,
It's time for dinner.
dinner. And then 5 minutes later, she's in the room yelling at you, didn't you hear me tell you it was time for dinner? And you say, I heard something, but I don't remember what you said. Okay, that's called, I caught it, but I didn't catch it. I heard it, but I didn't catch it. Okay, something like that. Okay. All right.
Inattentive or something?
It means I heard it, but I didn't get it. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So we'll come back. Here are the quotations, by the way. Here's the brief reference from the Abhidharma Samuccaya. I went and got it for you. Here's the more detailed reference from the Bodhisattva Bhumi. I went and got you that one. Okay. And
So is this going to be a
long
4-page footnote?
Well, you don't have to include these. You just give the page number, of where you found them. Okay. And next class, we will discuss, why did he bring these searches up and why did he bring these understandings up? Okay. What's the point? Okay.
And
Cool.
and what's my homework?
Hang on, let me pick you a good one. What's the date today? The 10th?
The 10th. Oh my gosh.
Okay, good. All right. This is too nasty.
Thank you.
Let's check 91. Look how much is there.
I know, pages and pages.
5 pages in notes. Yeah, 191 and 192.
Okay.
Yeah, good. Yeah, 191 and 192.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys in how long, Nick? 5 minutes?
5 minutes.
Yay, thanks, Uncle Nick.
Thank you, Geshe-la. That was awesome. That text is like
Hey.
amazing.
Yeah.